guess what day it is? It is Monday, which is why there's an upload today. So I decided it was time to draw Gortash again. Not that I don't draw him like all the time, but I decided it was time to post another Gortash. I think you guys have seen that I've been drawing a lot of Baldur's Gate, but anyway, this sketch kind of started because I was like, it's time. So I drew the eyes, nose first, and then I filled in the chin and hair, and then I tried to draw like a pose. So I started with the hands, but then I decided, what if I drew him with my tab? So I did try that, and I sometimes have trouble drawing her because or them together, because I feel like their dynamic is ever changing. And then also, sometimes I want to draw it this way, or sometimes I want to draw it that way, or I can't quite get the exact thing that I want. I can't quite draw the right face shape or the right thing. And the problem with this drawing was that he looks like he's on one drawing and she looks like she's on another drawing. There's no consistency between them. So I ended up deciding that, all right, just scrap the second character and focus on Gortash, because that'll be more fun than really trying to be nope, this isn't right, this isn't consistent, you have to do it this way, do it that way, and then it did end up being way more fun to just focus on Gortash. And then I got to play with a dumb pose. Look at this dumb pose I made. So here I was like, that arm is not the right size. I could not figure out what was wrong with it at first, because something's wrong. And then I changed the size of the arm and I was like, this is so much better. Now that hand in the corner, that was also wrong. It did not look right. It was also bothering me. So then I kept trying to change it. And then I think I eventually gave up. But I did spend a long time being like, look at all the other things I can change. And maybe if I change something else, then I won't have to fix that. And then I gave up and I started doodling other things and little details. And I was kind of going to make it a joke drawing, which is why I did the science clap clap. But then I decided, no, I'm just going to make a fun, nice Gortash for myself so I can put it on my door. And now, is the hand on the left side still wonky? Yes. Are we going to talk about it? A little bit, but not right now. But I moved on to color here. I think you guys have seen the color palette for this before in my other Gortash drawing. It's a really basic skin tone palette, and then some grays and a dark brown that I use for, it's kind of a red brown. That's kind of bright, I guess, actually, that I use for outlining. And then that's basically it. Also black for other stuff. The eye on the right side is wrong, and I could not figure out for the longest time why something was not right with his face. And every time I look at this drawing, I'd be like, something's wrong. Something is not right. And then I finally figured it out really close to the end of the drawing. So if you notice it, I'm sorry. If you didn't notice it, I'm sorry, because now you know. Anyway, when I did the hand here, I really had a lot of trouble with it because I just couldn't shade it the way I wanted to. And honestly, eventually I had to give it, I had to give up on getting it perfect and just be like, it's good enough. It's fine. It works. Honestly, could it be better? Yeah, it could. If I spent a lot more time on it, I think I would have gotten to that that stage of frustration where your face turns red and you feel like you're going to throw up. So I'm glad that it is how it is. And then here on the wrist, I tried to put in some veins. Because when I look at my own wrist, I'm like, ooh, okay, I can see some veins, if you look at your own wrist, you can see your little veins. So I just wanted to make it a little bit more realistic in that sense. And that's what that bluish, purplish stuff is. Also, again, ignore the hand on the left side. I don't like it either. And then when it came to the hair, I did it this way last time, and then this way, when I did it this way this time, it just wasn't really working for me. I think it's because the way his head is turned in the other picture, it works that way. The way it's turned in this picture, it doesn't really work this way. Like, it's not, his head's not turned enough for like the back of his hair to be showing that much. I do like the way it's colored. I love those blues. I love that little hint of gold, but it just didn't work for this particular image. Maybe another time. And then I like decided, okay, I have to stop focusing on the hair, because I had been focusing on the hair for like a while. So I laid down like the gold to see if I could just be like, okay, you focused on the hair so much, why don't you just see if it works with like the jacket? It didn't work with the jacket. So then I started like messing with hair some more. I was like, okay, well, what if you change the color? And I adjusted like the hue and saturation values. It was not doing it for me. But then I was okay, just stop again, and just focus on the jacket some more. So then I focused on the jacket so much that I got out a reference photo and actually went in and started doing like his actual jacket instead of just what his jacket looks like in my head. Because I have learned from working on this drawing, those are two vastly different things. Like, what his jacket looks like in my head, I'm like, okay, his jacket, yeah, like gold lapels. And then there's that part, and it has like 3 things, and no. 2 different jackets. This is what it looks closer to in the actual game. It's not what it looks like, just what it looks closer to, because like I didn't do the perfect job, but I did try really, really hard. And like, and you know what? You know why it's not perfect? Because he has on that like upper like third of his jacket dragons, straight up dragons in the fabric, and I'm like, no, no. You'll never catch me drawing a dragon until I decide to draw a dragon. But yeah. And then I still was not getting the hair to work. I decided it's time to go back to the hair. Still wasn't getting it to work. So I was like, well, maybe I just need to like change the face a little bit. I decided I was going to mess with the nose. Never let me mess with the nose. If I get a nose right the first time, that's a miracle. If I get it right a second time, I don't know what's happening, but I should probably like play the lottery. So I should just not be allowed to mess with the nose once it looks okay on a drawing. I did, though, finally get some hair that I liked. And as you can see, it is very much inspired by like early 2000s scene boys. So I'm sorry. It's just what worked. But yeah, I do actually really like it. I was able to get that blue in there, and then I just used some white to highlight. And I ended up putting those white highlights in the eyes to just like cover some mistakes that I had made. And I was able to go in and fix what was wrong. I ended up actually using orange in the eyes to kind of like brighten them up and make them pop out a bit more, which I think I ended up kind of toning down a bit later. And then here I started messing with the jacket a bit more to kind of highlight a bit. I wanted to put some blue in because I want blue everywhere, but it just didn't work out, so I ended up just kind of like using a bright gold shade, and then toning it down some more with the black. And then he has these kind of like pins, and I was like, I'm committing to doing the pins. So I committed to doing the pins. I kind of made an outline with the brightest part of my gold palette, and then went in with the kind of medium, and then I shaded with black, and then I would just kind of go back and forth between the 3 colors until I felt like it looked right. And honestly, that's half of what I do when it comes to coloring, is just I take 3 or 4 shades and then do an outline with one, fill it in with it, or I usually lay down one, do an outline with another, and then kind of go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and then add and take away as needed. So also his shirt was horrible to do. I shaded it with like a medium gold because I was like, okay, it's close to the jacket. I shaded the jacket with gold and black, and that'll work. I added like the red is just one red straight up. It's one red. And then I did the grommets as like a couple shades of gold. But I went and I looked at the reference picture. I was really trying to get his ties right. And he has missed not one, but 2 holes tying his shirt. And I was like, I hated you before. I hate you so much more now. Also, I still really, really, really love you. And that's how I feel. Then I moved on to trying to do the details on his belt. There are some that I missed. Like, he has a little, like, kind of coin looking thing hanging from, like, the edges on each side, and I forgot about that, so I didn't do it. I don't think I'm going to go back and do it because I have truly done enough. But I did these little faces. I drew them on the right side only, and then just, like, you know, duplicated the layer and flipped it so that I didn't have to do it again on the ones that were supposed to match. Do they look kind of messed up? Sure, I don't care. It's fine. You know what? It's good enough. I spent a long time on it, and I am happy with the result. And sometimes good enough is perfect in your eyes, and that's all that matters. For the jacket, I just laid down black, and then went over it with some, like, dark gray, and then anywhere where there was not enough, I added more black. And then I did his tassels really quickly in gold and red. I ended up expanding the belt a little bit with some gold and black, just because it was not wide enough for the jacket. And I was like, he is totally snatched in the waist, but, like, not that much. And then I went and did the greaves. I ended up covering up, like, most of the work I did on the arm, which is fine. Like, I'd rather have it and or have it done and not need it than have to go back and do it. Took me a while because I just, like, wasn't getting it the way I wanted, but it, you know, it worked out. And then I basically ended up just, like, redrawing this hand, basically, but it all worked out. I was kind of happy that I just basically redid it because I was like, I didn't like the hand, so if I can redo it and then make it look better, you know, it's kind of a win for me, I guess. And then I just started playing around to, like, create a background because I was like, basically, I'm done. I don't have to do this anymore. I think we're finished. And I kind of wanted to do, like, something sort of, like, biblically inspired with those, like, gold, spiky, circle halo crowns, you know, that you see behind Jesus all the time. And I wanted to add in a few more, like, colors because I would added some, like, kind of, like, brownish purple on the hair, and then I was like, you know, like, there's, like, purple and that stuff or whatever. And I wanted to add some sparklies. And then I just kind of, you know, made it as gold as possible, and I was like, that's chill. So that ended up, like, being it, and honestly, it was really fun, and I'm really excited to print it out and put it on my door, and I'm glad I had something bigger to share with you guys. I did really quickly want to give a heads up. This month I'm going to a convention in a different state, just, like, as an attendee. I'm not there tabling or anything, obviously. I don't know why I need to tell you guys that. You've seen my art. But that means that I have some stuff to finish before then that's, like, not art related. Like, I have a cosplay that I'm working on finishing up, and I have to, like, finish sewing that and finish, like, touching up a wig and sewing some shorts and stuff, and, like, making some junk. So I'm a little bit, like, I'm not busy because I'm never busy, but I'm a little bit busy. But yeah, so I might be a little bit, like, late on stuff, or, like, miss an upload or two this month, but, like, bear with me, I'll be around. So I will see you when I see you, and if I don't see you ever again, I'm really glad you were here today. All right, bye.